At the Royal Green Center for Travel Medicine, immunizations are a big part of what we do. There's some immunizations that almost all travelers need. So hepatitis A is an immunization that you need for almost everywhere in the world. Hepatitis A is the type of hepatitis you get from contaminated food and water. It's the most common illness in travelers other than just things like diarrhea or colds. It's a 2-shot vaccine. One shot gives full protection, but only lasts for a year or two. You need to get the second shot for prolonged protection, and the second shot's given between 6 and 12 months. The hepatitis A vaccine can be effective if it's given essentially on the way to the airport. So even at the last minute, the hepatitis A vaccine can be protective. We also give the typhoid vaccine. The typhoid vaccine is needed for most countries, but the typhoid vaccine is one where the risk varies. So a short-term traveler who's staying in high-end hotels may not need the typhoid vaccine. Someone going for a few weeks, someone who's an adventuresome eater, may need the typhoid vaccine. So even if people are going to the same country, the typhoid vaccine can vary based upon the type of travel and the risk. There's 2 types of typhoid vaccine. There's a live oral vaccine that's given 4 doses over 8 days. There's also an injection. Quite a few vaccines are live. So if people have suppressed immune systems, they can't take them. They can only take inactivated vaccines. So in the travel clinic, obviously we assess safety of the vaccines in individual people. Yellow fever vaccine has become increasingly important. There's always been yellow fever in rural Amazon area and parts of sub-Saharan Africa. The yellow fever vaccine is the only vaccine that's required for entry to some countries. So when you come get the yellow fever vaccine, we give you a special document that shows that you've had the vaccine, that you can get in and out of countries. You store it with your passport, you carry it with your passport when you travel. We do try to update sort of routine vaccines. So often adults have not had tetanus for years and years, and we don't want a traveler stepping on a nail in a developing country, having to go to an urgent care in a risky area. So we make sure routine vaccines are updated. And there are even things like polio and measles are at risk from some countries. And individuals who were born in the late 50s, early 60s and 70s, their immunity to polio and measles may have weaned. And even though they got those vaccines as kids, they may need a booster. So we try to sort of assess the whole spectrum of vaccines when people come to the travel clinic.